Hello viewers, did you know that yearly $20 billion are being sent by our real ambassadors of Pakistan, the Overseas Pakistanis? And did you know that these economic contributors face constant humiliation and problems whether it's in Pakistan or abroad? So we have brought you at OPF and we're going to talk to the chairman who is the first elected Overseas Pakistani, and he is the chairman and also a famous lawyer in UK, Barrister Amjad Malik. Thank you so much, sir, for your time.
Thank you for coming. And, on behalf of Overseas Pakistani Foundation, I take this opportunity to welcome all the expats, Overseas Pakistanis, that they should have access to all the services of OPF, and I'll make sure of that.
Let's hope for that. And before moving onward, I would want to start from the main focus that OPF basically has for the Overseas Pakistanis.
Well, this is an initiative taken by Prime Minister of Pakistan. OPF is an organization working for the welfare since 1979. But last April, Prime Minister has changed the dimension, the mission and vision of this organization by inducting people like us from overseas. So I am joining with a representative from Dubai and from UK, USA, and also South Asia. And I was elected unanimously by the board to run the affairs for 3 years. So it is a kind of ending red tape for the 8 million overseas Pakistanis to come on a policy making decision body and pave way for the interaction, interactive dialogue, and try to raise the image of Pakistan. And we are thankful to Prime Minister to do that.
So you're the first elected Overseas Pakistani who's representing this foundation. So can you tell us what are the basic problems that the people who are abroad they face? Because you know you've been through that.
People have variety of problems. Overseas Pakistanis who go for work in Gulf area, GCC countries and Saudi Arabia, they have problems of protectorate, reading their contracts, terms of conditions with the employer, the conditions, the work, health and safety, and in case of death and disability, how they will fight their cases. In case of unemployment, how will they fight their cases legally because of the lack of language and lack of knowledge about the criminal justice system in GCC countries. People in Europe, because they are settled and they have nationalities, they face problems coming back at the airports, their properties, their investments. They want to send their children to learn the language and the culture and the religion, and people who have their families abroad, they just want to have better services at the embassies. Same with America, people are professional, they are doing quite a good job and professionally excelling in those countries, but want to come back and contribute to Pakistan. So they lack facilities about the think tank so that they can come and emancipate, they can come and invest in Pakistan, use their skills and experience and contribute to make Pakistan's name glitter more.
So, you know, all the problems that you've highlighted, what is OPF doing? What are the services that they're offering to Pakistan?
Well, OPF is re-energizing, reboosting the efforts to bridge the gap. Prime Minister has tasked us to reach out to all the people. So we are holding open courts, open kacharis, going to places, learn about their problems, report to Prime Minister. I have gone to Gulf, I've gone to Kuwait, Oman, Abu Dhabi, Saudi Arabia, and Europe, and we are going to America, and we hold receptions and learn problems in an open fashion, then report it to Prime Minister. We have set up an advisory council of 137 people all over the world. We have asked and invited them to tell us what are their problems, so that not only the embassies will report and advise us, we will take live feedback on a monthly basis from overseas Pakistanis who are playing their active role in a role model capacity. Then we are holding a big convention end of this year, which will be an exercise after 20 years, where we will task for future. We will plan and invest on that plan, that how we can make the lives of our overseas Pakistanis better.
So, Barrister, actually, Pakistan got its independence in 1947, and this foundation was formed in 1979. So, we are lacking a lot behind, you know. So, do you think that now, since the Prime Minister has taken another initiative, he has brought in change, it's going to be able to meet up the lacks that we have already faced?
I think we have brought nuclear changes. Prime Minister's initiative was widely appreciated. That is why we held a very big convention in July, where people came from all across the country. They are freely contributing by their suggestions. We are formulating their suggestions, and we are drafting policies in which we can emancipate, and also their claims, complaints and grievances, we are trying to address them. We are sorting out a toll-free line, 24-hour line. We have set up 8 OPF desks at all 8 airports. We are taking an international portal with which you will be able to lodge your complaint anywhere in the world, and it will be seep into different departments, because after 18th Amendment some of the departments have gone to provinces. So we are setting up OPC, Overseas Pakistani Commissions, so each province will have its own administrative measures. And in Punjab, I drafted the law, it's working successfully. We have taken it to Azad Kashmir and they have passed the bill, so soon we'll have a OPC Azad Kashmir. Now these smaller setup will administratively not only take complaints but also will advisory committees in districts. They will try to arbitrate the issues, and administrative help will try to resolve issues. We are also suggesting to Law and Justice Commission to streamline the criminal justice system and have the courts which can adjudicate matters of overseas Pakistanis within 6 months, 3 hearings, no injunction, and hopefully Prime Minister will help us to set up speedy trial courts so that these land mafia issues can be curtailed.
So you have a portal, you have a hotline, but there are a lot of people overseas who actually do not even know about OPF. So what would you want to say about that?
You have a very valid point. We kept a policy whereby the users, the consumers, the real stakeholders which run this organization, they were kept at bay. So we are trying to introduce. I have visited GCC countries and we are trying to continuously visit them. Ministers have gone, MD have gone, Secretary have gone. I am going places to introduce OPF. We are bringing our brand, OPF membership, to other people, all regions. We are also, the Advisory Council is an initiative whereby we are encouraging people to join Advisory Council. Convention will be an opportunity for streamlining our decades-long delay into a meaningful exercise whereby we will have an opinion of the government on right to vote, right of representation, maybe 5 seats in the Senate and National Assembly, set up a speedy court to curtail the land mafia, streamline the worker registration so that people who go for work, they are better protected, medically insured for life, they are insured also, and also Nadra, passport and other facilities to streamline it. For example, for Gulf region, they should have a SWIFT card rather than NICO. Passport should be now, there should be a clear-cut understanding that there should be one passport with all the amenities. So we are trying to work a strategy whereby Prime Minister announced some meaningful steps with which the overseas Pakistanis will feel that government is looking at our grievances justly. Final point, we are also trying to set up housing colonies where we have 5 marla plots and give to people who are homeless and never have a house in Pakistan. So we are reintroducing a totally new brand whereby we don't put our posters that we are inaugurating. We are trying to complete and give keys to the people. So that will be a first of its kind.
You're talking about the housing societies and everything. So what about the land mafia and even with the investments that the overseas put in Pakistan, they do not get the same response, and it's taken over by the land mafia. What would you want to say about that?
It's a big problem, especially people from Europe and America. They complain whenever I go to them that we invested in a plot, in a land, and either one of our relative has captured it or possessed it, or with the coercive political support or people around the area jointly in a mafia, they have dispossessed us, taken over our property, or used the power of attorney, or captured our land, and we are unable to seek justice through the normal criminal justice system. It's a very valid argument. We are trying to streamline the complaint structure. we're trying to streamline that their houses may be depossessed in a quickest way, but also trying to seek help from courts that it should be resolved within 6 months. Some of the matters where administratively we can resolve it, but the delay occurs when somebody takes an injunction from the court. So we are trying to end the delay culture and the adjournment culture and the hiding behind a stay order. So hopefully, fingers crossed, because of the commissions working in provinces, we are trying to arbitration, use the police officer, DCO, overseas member to try to mediate between those two parties and quickly take the possession back. But some of the aspects where the courts are involved, we're trying to have a speedy trial courts.
During our conversation right now, the most frequent word that you've used is trying. Why is there anything that you've been able to do to, that is on ground, which you have been able to, any issue that you've been able to resolve, other than just trying?
Trying is the first step, but when I'm saying trying, that trying means that there is a big plethora of work has been done. For example, I gave you example of Overseas Pakistani Commission Punjab. As I mentioned, I drafted the bill. It was a 3 to 4 year exercise. It took 2 years just to draft the bill. It is active. It's working in the 36 districts of Punjab. So you have any complaint about land mafia, that one helpline, 111672672, you ring them. Your online application or on telephone application will be considered, marked to the 36 districts wherever it's relevant, and they try to mediate it. The law says within 30 days they'll have to come up with the answer. What is the answer? Now, like I said, if there is a stay order or the court intervention, then the administrative side comes to a chock-a-block. That's what we are trying to resolve, that where there is a stay order comes, the lacuna is addressed appropriately under the law. But otherwise, it's working fine. They have dealt with around about 7,000 over complaints. We have tested the model, and we are trying to reintroduce that model to Azad Kashmir and hopefully other provinces. I shared the draft law with all the chief secretaries of the other regions, FATA, Gilgit-Baltistan, Sindh, KPK, and we are trying to promote the idea, because after devolution, the law and order, education, health has gone to the provinces. So we are trying to, they should have a mechanism, administrative mechanism in all provinces to aid and assist and relieve the overseas Pakistanis who are genuine victims, unrepresented, and their voices must be heard.
Definitely. So what would you want to say about the image of Pakistan, which is deteriorating every day?
Very big exercise is required, that we win hearts and minds of our 8 million overseas Pakistanis. A lot of unsung heroes are working in overseas soils. We are meeting and greeting them. We are inviting them to OPF. I am introducing them to OPF. We are rewarding them by advisory council membership. We are giving them OPF life membership. And on each visit, I'm trying to introduce so that they take back a good feedback. Right. They are our roaming ambassadors overseas, and I value their services, their contribution. They are very dear to me. I'm their representative at this capital, and I assure them that their services will be acknowledged, and their work for the contribution for the Pakistan as a state will always be highlighted. On 18th of December, which is a International Day for Migration, last year we celebrated for the whole week the services rendered by the overseas Pakistanis. We rewarded them with certificates of brilliance, and hopefully that we are making that as a permanent exercise, that every 18th of December, that week we will celebrate the successes of our expats and overseas Pakistanis, and hopefully the image of Pakistan will be better when we improve our services, when we monitor and regulate and bring convenience in their entry and exit to Pakistan, when we curb the incidents like Norwegian family who was mistreated at the airport. So we're trying to curb these kind of incidents, and when we can bring the services to their doorstep. Portal will be a step forward, the international portal where any child, any adult, female, male, can lodge the complaint from their iPhone saying this is my grouse and we are there to serve, and we resolve that issue.
That's great. So in less than a year, we have general elections. What about the voting rights of overseas?
Not only voting right, I think the credit goes to Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif that he has not only given dual nationals the right on the very big policy making board, but also has invited 137 members in a consultative board. Like we will be consulting them and they will be advising us. And furthermore, another member of Legislative Assembly in Azad Kashmir has been inducted from Birmingham. He's a dual national. So he's become a member of an assembly. That model we are preaching, that model is introduced in Pakistan, and we see overseas Pakistanis as senators, as member National Assembly. And this post, which was captured by a federal minister for overseas for 40 years, you are seeing a dual national, an overseas Pakistani on this, first of its kind. And it's, I think, historic moment for which overseas Pakistanis, even if it's not me, anybody who comes from overseas Pakistani and sit on this chair, it's a great honor to serve them. So I think that is on policy. Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif is producing results by way of actions rather than words.
Could you shed light on how many commissioners do you guys have?
Oh, we have many commissioners. You will have many commissioners in Pakistan who are serving and working for the cause of overseas Pakistanis. We have Punjab commissioner who is working under the Act. They are administrative commissioner. We have a ceremonial position of a political coordinator and a commissioner in federal government under the Ministry of Overseas. We may have a federal ombudsman commissioner for overseas. But let's say you have 50 commissioners. But all commissioners are there to assist and help you. Like I said, we are making a portal internationally. Whether there are one commissioner or 100, the portal will make sure that you have only one complaint center, one facilitation center, and one OPF or overseas desk. So you go anywhere, though your application or complaint goes to that one portal, big master portal, and then seep into the provinces. Hopefully that pyramid portal which I'm mentioning will be up and running by the end of year, and then I think this issue of different commissioners will evaporate, because whoever you are, wherever you are, you will lodge in the complaint in a national portal. It will go to all provinces, it will go to all embassies, it will go to the relevant district, relevant DCO. So no matter whether you're in California, London or Brussels, when you lodge a complaint, it will go to the district where it belongs.
Right. So just a while ago, you returned from your board meeting. What were the salient features of it?
Today we approved our budget. It's a 5 billion budget, and we approved it. We have taken several initiatives. We appreciated our employee whose paper was published. We also approved an overseas Pakistani who got blind whilst working. So we have approved a summary going to Prime Minister for his treatment. We have taken an initiative of 30 million with the Association of PIF to give scholarship for the children of overseas Pakistani. We approved scholarship for the overseas children, 50% tuition fee waiver for their children. Several other housing projects came into discussion, and policy decisions were made. And there were several other members. Additional Foreign Secretary Shah Jamal was welcomed, and Additional Finance Secretary Umar Hamid Khan has been introduced by Prime Minister at the board. So we welcome those new members.
All right. So thank you so much, Mr. Amjad Malik, for your time, and I hope that all the initiatives that you're taking finally come on ground and we can see something happening for the overseas Pakistani.
Thank you for coming here and taking the time to take my views concerning overseas Pakistanis. I assure you that I will not leave any stone unturned to serve my people. Thank you very much. Pakistan Zindabad.